The Phantom 4 ships in a reusable styrofoam shipping / carry case. You can see it has a metal lock that you can twist and unlock the case. It's not lockable with a lock, but it's definitely a nice secure fit. As you open it, you can see everything that you need to go out into the field is actually contained within the battery, the Phantom, the controller, space for extra accessories, extra batteries, and then it comes with, of course, the manuals and everything else. The props are also contained within that box, and you can carry them with you. Now they come in this DJI bag, a fabric bag. There's 2 sets of props, and we'll see how those connect in a minute. But it's kind of a nice presentation. So we'll take this out and just set it aside. The controller itself also fits very snugly in there. I don't think there's any risk of it being damaged. As I said, it ships this way with a very small container around it, or very small cardboard container around it. This controller is very much, I guess, like the other Phantom controllers, nothing particularly special. The case is nice. It has a rubberized handle. It's very firm. It's reusable, but it's not something that's going to last a really long time. It is styrofoam. That's just a basic plastic hinge. I don't have a lot of experience with Phantoms, so I was struck with how small they are. It's 350 millimeters, 1,380 grams, about 100 grams more than its predecessor. Now the camera and gimbal are fully integrated and pre-installed. There's a protective guard here I'll just pop off. The camera is very nice. It's very small, and the gimbal is clearly free to move about. It does not rotate all the way around, but it's a very nice package. Now when I say fully integrated, it's interesting. The memory card is actually in the body of the drone and not in the camera, which would be the typical way. The battery it slides out the back or into the back. It's sort of short, but it takes up almost the entire drone. It's pretty impressive. It has an integrated battery monitor, which is really nice when you have multiple ones in your bag and you don't know which ones are charged. So that's very, very helpful. The propellers comes with 2 full sets. They have silver and white rings on them, obviously indicating clockwise and counterclockwise in the standard configuration for a drone, so diagonally will be the same ones. And that makes it very easy to determine which ones go where. That's, I guess, more or less standard nowadays. The attachment mechanism for them is quite nice. You simply clip them on and rotate them to lock them and push them down and unhook them. So it makes it very quick to take them on and off, so there's no spinning and no worrying about them flying off because of counter-rotating issues. And it makes it so that you really want to take them off and put them back on when you need them on. The controller is sort of a standard DJI controller. Looks a little goofy and toyish, but it's a pretty high quality device. The aircraft requires a tablet to work, so you're going to need iPhone, iPad, or an Android tablet. It clips into the holder bracket there, and it's pretty snug, although I did find that it slides around a lot when I'm messing around. The telemetry and connection to the tablet is through, in this case, a lightning cable. There's a USB cable or a connector on the back of the controller, and just into your phone like that. I'm not a big fan of that wire hanging out. They probably need a short one. It didn't come with a lightning cable, if I remember right. So you have to use your own. The controller itself is nice quality. You've got the telemetry and control link, or diversity, I'm not sure which, dials for the gimbal and speed. You've got buttons for recording and taking a photo on either side, and you can see that as I moved it here, the phone just about slid out. Everything seems fairly good quality. The gimbals seem good. Put that back in there. And then, of course, right on the front you have a return to home button, which is ever important. The brace is for the bracket is aluminum. It's nice rubberized handles. Feels very secure, very tight. Out in the field, everything's very easy to set up, and get running. You can see it initializes quickly. The Phantom flies like a camera platform. It's very, very stable. It doesn't fly like an RC aircraft at all, but everything's locked in right out of the box. You have a lot of confidence, maybe too much confidence. The camera itself is very, very high quality. Here we're just sort of flying at dusk. We wanted to see what the sun's overexposure would do without any particular camera settings, and it's overexposed, but it's pretty nice. We were able to get the gimbal to fail, as you can see here, without terribly aggressive maneuvers. People are always interested in the tap to follow or follow subject with the camera. You can draw a box around a subject and the drone will follow that person or that object. Here Ian is just wandering around and the Phantom is automatically following him based on a camera setting. He's not holding a controller. It's a kind of a gimmick. I mean, it's neat that it can do that. I'm not sure that you would use it for anything really in a real context, in a professional context. It can get easily lost. As you saw here, it sort of hasn't required him, now it has. And in this case, as he runs uphill, it would obviously drive itself right into the ground. It doesn't seem to honor the altitude of the ground at all, even though it clearly can see that. But it's neat. With an adult subject, a little bit later, you can see it's following him in a rotation, but any concentrated effort to lose it will succeed. Obstacle avoidance is another thing that's very interesting on this drone. Obviously it has forward obstacle avoidance. Here we tried to run it into the phone box in front of us without any success. We kind of tried to repeatedly do that until we reached an altitude that it would let us go forward over it, and then it did. The obstacle avoidance works through optical sensors in the front. You can see here that on the screen it actually shows you a warning when you get too close, and actually shows you a proximity sensor, that yellow bar on the screen. Again, here we were trying to see whether or not it would detect a tree. We're at full stick forward here, and it obviously wouldn't fly into the tree, which is really impressive. And here we were just trying to see whether it would back away from us, and it does not, which is kind of good because it can't see behind us, so it doesn't know that it would hit anything. I'm actually moving it back right there. On the subject of range, the Phantom 4 has reported ranges of 1.5, 2, 3, even 4 miles, certainly beyond your ability to see it. The control is good at those distances, in ideal situations. The video is high quality in ideal situations. One of my criticisms about it is that it's a very small drone. It's white, and against a bright sky, it's very hard to see. But certainly its range is superior for that quality of video. Speaking of video, the latency you can see is about 100 milliseconds. Normal FPV, maybe 5.8 gigahertz is 30 milliseconds. So this is not an FPV racer. It does have a sport mode, but you shouldn't probably try to fly it in and out of trees or gates.